Let's introduce the players quickly because we're getting right into it with a proxy. In the top right corner for Psystorm Gaming, he is the one true Maro, he is MaSa.
And in the bottom left here, in the red, for the Cranky Ducklings, he is PattyMac.
What is this SCV doing? Okay, it's just a very, very early eBay block. So he actually sent one of his first SCVs out there, send it across the map. PattyMac is furiously scouting for something out on the map. He's using 2 probes to scout, but he has somehow missed that SCV. And yeah, MaSa is getting that juicy eBay block off. Yeah, that eBay has gone unnoticed up until now. So PattyMac is now building his Zealot and following it up with the cybernetics core, but he was banking up 400 minerals and he was ready to place that Nexus. So yeah, a bit bummed out probably that he found the eBay over there.
Yeah, you know, you had me all excited there, Vitamin. You're like, he's gonna be on the map. Like, oh man, is it even worth it to introduce MaSa in his base if we can just introduce him on the map? Because that's always fun. And then it's an eBay. I mean, it's annoying here for PattyMac, and it certainly is going to mess with his ideas about how he wants to play this game, but, you know, he had me all excited. I thought we were going to see something really, really weird. Anyways, eBay block here. It does mean that MaSa's base is going to be a little bit slower. His expo is going to be probably not on the low ground, although the SCV is going to go do that right now. But it's going to be, yeah, there we go. Barracks Factory into a command center. We're going to really quick eBay as well. So MaSa looks like he's going to lean into that like +1 stim combat shield timing that we are oh so familiar with in this matchup. It's a little bit of a different way to get there, but still valid. And if I am MaSa, I'm very worried about getting this base up because we already have an Adept running across the map. Now, 1 Adept versus 2 Marines, it's kind of a dodgy setup there. The Adept should be able to beat that, especially now with the Marines that are low. But no, PattyMac's not going to try. Unfortunately, he does not have 2 Adepts there, which does mean that he's not really going to be able to find the damage that he's looking for. He's not really going to be able to delay this command center. So MaSa's going to get away with it. It's going to be very nice for him.
Yeah, good scout though from PattyMac here, seeing the reactor on the factory. So it's probably going to expect some Hellion play out of there. It could potentially be Widowmine play, so that's why he's adding in the Robo. But we see he wants to get aggressive here. He is proxying a pylon. I was gonna say maybe. Okay, maybe NA is just a region of random pylons. That one really looked like he was gonna build another gateway and get aggressive off of that, but yeah, he's still 3-gate Robo, so it still has the potential with the Warp Prism maybe from that Robo to get aggressive.
I'm really confused on that one, right? Because okay, so we're gonna see some Adepts get warped in here. He was patrolling with his pro for like a good amount of time. That tells you that he wants to proxy something, but now the Hellions are going to find this. This game is rapidly getting, you know what? So in college football, there's Pac-12 After Dark, where the games don't make any sense and it's fine. This game is StarCraft. This is NA After Dark here. We're going to see a bunch of Hellions. They're going to go on down. Adepts now find their way into the natural mineral line, where there's not a lot here, but we do have this drop. It looks like it's, what is in this medevac? Two Hellions here going to try to find their way on the other side of the map, which of course, 2 Hellions don't do a lot. It's when you have 3 that cause that significant value. As now we're going to see the Viking get landed here. Vikings actually don't do a lot of damage to Adepts. They don't have that mechanical tag. Now we have the drop. It's going to find its way on into the main base. And again, it's 2 Hellions. It's not a lot here. Starkers are even going to knock it down before it unloads. Okay, well, never mind. They will unload. But not finding too much value. 2 probes will go down. That's going to be the end of it. Meanwhile, these Adepts going home. Vitamin, excuse me. What is this game? I need explanation here.
Okay, so it was just a bit of light pressure the pylon used only for the warping of Adepts there, and the Adepts got way more done than they were ever supposed to. They're still not cleaned up. Only just now do they stop dealing damage. MaSa was a little bit sloppy. He rallied 2 of his Hellions there right into the arms of the Adepts, and if he has the Hellions in the defense, he cleans them up way quicker. And On the other side, if he chooses to not defend with them and drop with 4 Hellions rather than 2, he deals a lot more economic damage. So it really all comes down to that one sloppy move of MaSa there, losing 2 Hellions in the middle of the map to the Adepts, and that puts PattyMac at a solid position. He's taking some damage now to this Viking harassment, but this is yeah, it's some light harassment. That's all it is. And MaSa is getting his 3rd base, so he won't be pushing out anytime soon, won't be looking for a great amount of damage. PattyMac sees all of this, by the way. PattyMac has the Observer, it now gets scanned away, but PattyMac knows that he's up against 3 command centers, so he knows for the time being, I can be super greedy, I can go up to I am up to 3 bases, I can saturate my 3rd base, I can go into all the tech that I want and need. Oh, he even finds the random medevac. MaSa didn't fly that all the way back, and yeah, the stalkers pick it off. Yeah, PattyMac, it's finding some good stuff here. Now 2 Vikings harassment. It's an odd one, but it checks out.
I mean, look how much it's doing. It gets a stalker, gets 4, 5, 6 probes. Okay. You say MaSa, by the way, is not getting aggressive in this game because he's getting a 3rd. I would like to remind you, this is North America, and none of this game makes sense thus far. So I would not be surprised to see him move out, even if it didn't make sense, because that's how this entire series has been, or at least this game 1, because we're in game 1 of our series.
We have PattyMac now out on the map posturing a little bit, but that Immortal here is a little bit curious because it's only going to be a bit of posturing. There's going to be no commitment to this. Blink +1 and Colossus tech is coming up behind this, so just yeah, showing some presence, showing MaSa like, hey, I'm out of here, please be afraid of me. MaSa hasn't even recognized this fully yet, so not sure how effective that is, but now yeah, now MaSa sees, okay, there are a couple of stalkers. Maybe I have to be a little bit afraid, a little bit more cautious about my move out. But MaSa, his upgrades are lining up quite well, and he actually gets a great trade here onto all of the stalkers. Blink is not done, and the Marines just move forward, take out the Immortal and a couple of stalkers. That was odd.
Yeah, just donating an Immortal, why not? Immortals don't matter in this matchup, so you might as well just give one over. It's like the Phoenix from the MaSa series. Just, hey, you can have that Phoenix, so it's okay. Realistically, though, Immortals actually can do a lot in games like this. They can knock down tanks. They do really well against Marauders. At the very least, they're a beef shield. They're just a beefy unit that the Marines are going to take a little bit longer to target fire on down. But yeah, this game has started mad and has only gotten crazier. I'm not exactly sure what that idea from PattyMac was supposed to do. I mean, I understand posturing a little bit, but the posturing was just kind of a unit donation. It wasn't like that army really could ever fight what MaSa had. Is now he's going to stim on in. He's like, okay, I can fight. You want to fight? Let's fight over these rocks. That sounds like fun. But they now that the rocks are dead, there's nothing to fight over anymore, and both players are going to back on up once again. Objective-based gaming, Vitamin, is what's happening. The rocks are an important objective, therefore they must be fought over.
Yeah, usually that's a term that you don't hear in StarCraft all that much. It's more something coming out of Dota or other MOBAs. But I guess you can apply it to StarCraft. There are some objectives that aren't just kill opponent, get rid of all the buildings, such as fighting for vision on this watchtower. Also, another objective, killing off probes here. MaSa becoming more active, has come back in this game quite significantly, has gained the supply lead, and is now trying to be active, making something happen. Gets 4 probe kills with that first Widowmine drop.
That he does, but I mean, PattyMac here, the big benefit that he's got going on is his economy's a little low. All right, losing those probes has caused problems. I believe he's lost, what, 15 probes? Exactly 15 probes. I was counting. In this game, but still, he's got his 3 bases, he's got his 4th base, it's underway, and the big deal, of course, he's double forge. He's going up to 2-1 here. His army is just going to be a little bit beefier for its supply than what MaSa has, and I mean, PattyMac's moving out here on even armies play. That being said, attacking a tank Widowmine, good luck on that one, especially with the Archons. They're not in the front here. Stalkers are going to blink forward, doing what they can, but the Zealots, they're all dead. The Vikings firing strong from afar, and the Colossus, they're not even firing on this army. they're knocking down some rather tasty supply depots, but supply depots, they don't fight back, Vitamin.
Yeah, focusing on these supply depots there, and with that, the bio, there's a ton of Marauders. These 3 Colossus, great micro on the Warp Prism, and it looks like they're all staying alive. The Warp Prism does go down eventually, but man, MaSa had to pull a ton of SCVs into this to make that hold happen, because the micro was so great. He's finding damage on the other side of the map now, but that was, that attack from PattyMac looked horrible, but he kind of made it work. And he cleans up this drop as well, gets both Medivacs and all the bio forces.
That was, I think, one of the greatest Warp Prism micro displays that I have ever seen. He was dodging almost every single Viking shot. He was microing 3 Colossus in and out of it, not losing a single one, losing a fight that winning a fight that realistically he should have lost. Straight up, that was not a good position there for PattyMac to be in. His Colossus weren't firing for half the time. But suddenly, you know, somehow Warp Prisms, they're powerful units in the right hands, and PattyMac, very apparently, he has those proper hands. So now he's in a great spot. He's up 30 supply. He's got a massive eco lead at this point. He's got his 4th base again. It's not done. He still has to rebuild it. He did lose it. But given that trade for 26 SCVs and the entire Terran army, I think most Protoss players, they're absolutely going to take that one in spades. Now, I'd love to see +3. We don't have that yet, as PattyMac does not feel like he can afford it, but still, he does have that upgrade lead. He will soon have, well, upgrade parity, really, is what that is going to be, as PattyMac looking to push on in once again. This time, not as many char slots, but certainly a good amount of range here. Ghosts are dropping EMPs on top of everything, and that means these Archons, they're not going to do all that much.
PattyMac attempting to go in there from the same angle as last time. It wasn't so great the last time, but now if he doesn't have the Zealots charging in, he's actually taking care of this position now, because there is a warp in into the main base at the same time, pulling MaSa apart. MaSa is attempting to evacuate his SCVs to his 4th base, but man, if he doesn't lift his command center, is he just going to right click? This command center is dead and gone, and he does have a 4th base mining for the time. It is a planetary, at least. He gets a widow mine drop across the map, dealing some counter damage, but this Protoss force, it looks kind of unstoppable here. Still the 3 Colossus from the first push, all alive, all firing, all taking care of that bio. PattyMac takes game number 1.
That was a fantastic game there from PattyMac. It was like an okay, you're like, okay, back and forth, and then you're like, oh man, PattyMac, you're attacking into this position. There's a bunker there are supply depots, there are tanks behind a wall. Your Colossus aren't even firing. How are you going to take this? And PattyMac, well, in typical PattyMac fashion, says, I have a Warp Prism. That's all I need. Haven't you learned anything from the anime? And my response is, what anime? What anime is there? StarCraft anime? The answer is not, but PattyMac is writing one right here, right now, because those Colossus had some significant protagonist energy in that game. And MaSa, unfortunately, he lost too much of his army, and then the run-bys, the Zealot Warpins, they were too much. So Vitamin, that means now that PattyMac, he's 1-0. He's kind of one map away from really securing himself in the upper half of this group. Is it 2-0? Does MaSa deal with a Warp Prism better in game 2?
Why do you keep doing this to me? It's so unfair. I guess you have to pick on the newbie caster just a little bit. I do believe that MaSa has what it takes to bring the game to a 3rd map, and that is what I'm hoping for as well. I don't want to be done just yet. You know, we've had a long day so far, but I've got a little bit more in me. So please bring us to a map 3, MaSa.
All right, so is Vitamin right here, or is it just going to be wishful thinking and PattyMac 2-0s? Well, we're going to find out just about right now, because game 2 is loaded up. In the bottom right here in the blue, he's down 1 game, looking to tie things up. From Side Store Gaming, the one true Maru, MaSa.
And in the top left corner, with a cute Rainer decal, smilelets all smiles, the Protoss player PattyMac.
So So,
of course, yep, do go ahead.
okay. Early probe scout here, and actually not even a... Oh, no, I think the probe is going to stay. I think this probe is coming back. I think this is a pylon and scout idea, and PattyMac does have a idea about a proxy Stargate, because that is a very common proxy Stargate pylon positioning there. We're just going to have to see. So, I mean, to say, yeah, proxies, once again, it's a thing, except this time we're actually getting a proxy when we're promised a proxy. How about that, Vitamin? How about them apples?
I like myself some apples. Earlier I had apple tea.
Ooh.
Now we're getting some apples inside of here. MaSa with the SCV Scout is going to recognize the fact that there is a pylon missing, so has to prepare for all sorts of shenanigans. He might not necessarily see the Stargate going up. He might actually. Oh yeah, this SCB is running straight past it, so sees the Stargate right as it goes up. So MaSa has the confirmation on what's going on, and he has now all the time in the world to accordingly prepare for this.
Do we see the Stargate get canceled?
I don't think so. I think he's still like going to build an oracle out of it, trying to make something happen. It's not super close to MaSa's base either, so MaSa is not going to pull SCVs or and a couple of Marines to try and get rid of it. Or is he? He's moving out with the 4 Marines, but is he actually going to attempt to cancel that Stargate? Is what I'm wondering.
He's treating this as if it's a proxy voidery idea, right? We have the bunker on the high ground. He's getting widow mines. Like, he is turtling up here off of what he thinks is just really committed aggression. But this is just proxy oracle. Like, he's gonna get 1 to 2 oracles, and that's kind of the goal here. You do not need this bunker. Widow mines, of course, are always nice. They keep you safe from oracles. They make oracle player very, very scared about how they're gonna go in. But this is just oracle play. Like, you do not need this bunker. So very interesting to see MaSa doing that.
Yeah, and the Oracle play has essentially already been defended. Those 4 Marines that were out of the map caught this Oracle and brought it very low. These 4 Marines are now going down, but the damage on the Oracle is substantial, and I doubt this Oracle will find any more damage. Oh, it might even just fly into a Widow Mine. It's gone. Okay, so this MaSa overcommitting a little bit to the defense, but now he has to realize that this is defended, that this is all good. Salvage the bunker and macro up, because MaSa, you're ahead.
Absolutely. Looks like, Vitamin, your predictions, your prognostications are going to be correct once again. Again, the modern day Nostradamus sitting virtually across from me. Unfortunately, we're not at the same desk, but virtually sitting on the desk across from me in this series. Now, not saying the game's over, but certainly it's gonna be difficult for PattyMac to come back from this one. He got proxied, didn't get anything done. And there we go. This will get depowered now. I love the Widow Mine in the high ground, just in case there's a second Oracle coming out. It's just going to get immediately mined on down. Anyway, so what do we got here? Oh, we got the fake Oracle, though. I love this move from... I love when you see players do this. It's like, yeah, look, I got more Oracles. You should be really afraid about it. And it's just a fake. It's fantastic.
It's it's a fake. Behind this, he is going for Blink, trying to salvage his situation a little bit. Usually, this is not an uncommon follow-up, but if you want to do this, then you're planning on getting your 3rd base at a decent time, but because he has lost pretty much all map presence with that Oracle, he might be forced into a little bit of a later 3rd base, which it's he's still going to take it now right around the 5:30 mark. But if he had that Oracle out on the map, I would have expected him to take it a little bit earlier and be further ahead economically.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The general timing is you kind of expect with these Blink openers to be before 5 minutes, but Stargate play, yeah, that does delay things just a little bit. It doesn't look like we're going to see a lot of aggression here from our from a red Protoss player. There we go. As he's only got 3 gates, no robo, or he has a robo, but it's going to be for Colossus, not for any sort of warp prism play. But maybe he has vision in the main base, so he's going to blank on up and get a couple workers. There are 6 workers here. There we go. Widow Mine is going to kill 1, so only 5 stalkers now. 1 more than is required to one-shot at SCV. So for the moment here, We're gonna see the Stalkers are gonna find value. 5-6 workers do go down, but there's a tank, and tank makes things a lot more difficult. But okay, Blink of the Natural at this point, I think can still find value. So 6-7 workers probably gonna be the end goal. I do expect to see a recall. There we go. But no, that's value. That is PattyMac trying to find something, even if he does lose 2/3 of that expeditionary force.
That was kind of expensive though. He did lose 4 stalkers in total up in that one, and he's gonna miss these stalkers once MaSa gets aggressive here. We can't forget he did trade out army units for worker supply. So MaSa in his army growth is going to be affected by this just a little bit, but his standing army wasn't touched at all. And now moving across the map, combat shields +1 finishing up. There is a single Colossus, but man oh man, PattyMac is going to wish that he had 4 more Stalkers in that army.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is charge is done in just about 20-odd seconds, 15-20 seconds. So that, at the very least, is going to help a little bit. And Stun Thermal Lance is going to be not too far after that. But with these tanks here sitting on the low ground, they just, oh yeah, the Colossus cannot engage. And it's only going to be 1 Colossus in this game, at least for the time being, because that is going to be a dead Robo at this point. So Zealots, they now have charge. They're going to try to make something happen on the low ground here. But the kiting from MaSa is fantastic. He's up 30 supply, and that is 30 supply more than he needs to end this game. GG MaSa. He ties it up. And folks, we're going to game 3.
I'm just happy about my predictions. They're on point today. I'm feeling good. I like it. Map 3 between these players. I think what I want to see from these players is now no major early mess ups. Get into a later stage of the game and really show off. Really try to provide a good game for the fans, because at this point it doesn't even matter who wins the series. It's the fans anyways.
No MaSa ups. Anyway,
I did not get it. I'm sorry.
No, MaSa ups instead of mess ups, because he's MaSa.
Oh yeah, okay. I should have just let you sit there in silence. But yeah, it's okay. Every once in a while, you can pull these kinds of stuffs out. You know, maybe it's just me who needs to get them for them to be funny. It's I'm sorry. I'm a bad co-caster. I can't provide that to you every time.
No, it's fine. See, at the very least, it's content. I make a joke and it falls flat, and then chat gets to laugh at me making jokes that aren't funny. So regardless of what happens, either it's genuinely funny and it's fine, or it's not, and we just get everyone watching gets to make fun of me. At the end of the day, it's content. It's valid. It's what the good folks at ESL pay us to do, or something like that. You know what they also pay us to do, Vitamin?
Cast some good old StarCraft, baby.
Get into game number 3, indeed, and we have it. It's here. It's Oxide. And in the bottom left here in the red, looking dominant in game 1 and falling down just a little bit in game number 2 for the Cranky Ducklings. He is PattyMac.
In the top right corner, the blue Terran player. He is unretirable. He always comes back for this tournament and makes a wave. He is MaSa.
I swear
Once
MaSa
again with the eBay block.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, I swear MaSa is just better whenever he's retired. Like, it doesn't make any sense, but the less he plays, the better he is.
Yeah, it's he just seems to have this base mechanical skill and game understanding where whenever he plays and gets to think about the game for too much, he seems to struggle a little bit. But whenever he hasn't played for a couple of days, weeks, or month, gets back onto the scene, looks at the most recent GSL VODs, and is like, okay, this is approximately how people do it now. I guess I'll put my own twist onto it. Yeah, he just bops people, and that's what we saw on the second map. But yeah, the first map, but not so much. That's why we're on map 3 here now.
I'm really curious to see what this pylon is going to be. I mean, it's timed up Wait, there we go. Okay. And I was like, it's timed up to be potentially a Stargate, but this is gonna be DT play here in game number 3 for PattyMac. It's like, yeah, these games, game 1, game 2, was far too normal for me. It didn't go full NA enough, although game 1 went very far NA. So let's make it even more. Let's make it even more interesting. We're gonna put a proxy Twilight, and I really thought it was gonna be proxy DTs. Probe was just sticking around, and then again, PattyMac, he puts the pylon on the map, and then he said, "Yeah, I don't care, it's whatever." I wonder what because I don't think he scouted much of anything. I wonder what he saw. Yeah, no, he hasn't seen anything that makes him kind of worried about this. Well, I guess the benefit is this SCV is not going to scout it.
Oh my god, how did he miss that scout? That was the laziest STV. Could have literally gone a meter further to scout the Twilight console there. It is just going to be used for Blink, so it is non-standard in the fact that it's outside of his own base, but it's still just a Blink opening. The Twilight console was fairly early though, so still expecting some aggression to come out of PattyMac here.
Man, think about how good the Twilight would be, or the Dark Shrine would be in this game, with the fact that MaSa is on one base. You just kind of drop a DT, have them kill it, and then they can't attack. And then MaSa couldn't attack anymore because he's out of scans. That being said, MaSa also doing things with invisible things. We are going to see cloaked Widowmine drops, and with this proxy Twilight Blink idea, there is no Robo on this field, on the game, on the map. Excuse me. There is no Forge. We see a Robo coming down right now, but this should be a pretty good timing here for MaSa to find some damage. That means that the Oracle's going to fly in, and he's like, Reactor Widowmines. I see the armory. I know what's up here. At this point, realistically, MaSa should get less damage done than previous, but at the very least, he is probably guaranteed to 2 probes and maybe a second shot, depending on how... he should get a second shot off, I think, looking at the Robo timing. So, I don't know if that's enough. I think you got to get more than that because you're going to be on one base for so long, but certainly it's a problem here. Now we're going to see Widowmines get dropped on in. One's going to get target fired on down. Second one is going to go off against 10 workers.
Oh, he gets the first one. Oh, no, flawlessly. The second one barely managed to borrow, gets 10 probes here. That was the most heartbreaking move for every Protoss player, and now the follow-up is going to come as well. There's going to be an observer, but there are more mines heading into the main base, and they're going to find another shot at least.
By the way, this observer's not getting chronoed. The Widowmine in the natural will get its second shot off here. So there we go. 3 workers do go down. Now the Stalkers, they will find something, and there we go. 4 more workers are going to be the end of it. But PattyMac's not really mining in his main base. He has lost 14 workers in this game. MaSa, we talked about taking builds from GSL. Now, I have not yet seen the finals. I have not had time for that, unfortunately, but this build that MaSa is doing right now is very much a Cure build. This is the build, or a variant of the build, that Cure uses to beat Zest all the time. He did it in King of Battles qualifiers last year. It's just really nasty if you're not expecting it, especially if you're if this build build order counters what PattyMac is doing, right? You proxy a Twilight, you get quick blink. The cloaked Widowmines are gonna find some significant value, and they did.
Yeah, MaSa behind this, he's not been comfortable enough to take his natural base or another Widowmine drop. This time, decent reaction. Unburrows for a second there, so this is just so much probe damage. PattyMac still 5 probes behind. It's going to attempt to blink in now, but MaSa set up super defensively, has a tank in position, has the Raven, should probably drop the Auditor down here. It commits another blink further into the base, and that's where last time around he lost 4 Stalkers, and this time it's just absolutely getting demolished once again. Only 1 lone Stalker gets out alive. He did kill some SCVs, but more Widowmine damage happening on the other side of the map. It's not looking great for PattyMac.
This game is just going full NA. Like, there's just damage all over the place. We're seeing, bunkers in the wall between the main and the natural because there's no barracks there, and tanks and random Widowmine drops, and just both players just taking tons of 4 more workers go down from that Widowmine that I missed. It's just all over the place. This game is full NA, and it's really going, when the game goes full NA and MaSa's in that game, he is going to be he's going to be a big benefactor in that one. He is probably one of the greatest players, at least in North America, at generating and thriving in this type of chaotic game.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, we see it right now. Here, that very low HP medevac trying to get out of there. It doesn't get snapped off by that stalker, but the Widowmine manages to burrow one more time. So, not quite dealt with yet. MaSa, what is he building up to? He has a no rush to end this game. He's just he's taken his natural base very late, and now he says like, okay, I don't need to attack anytime soon. I'm taking my third base. I have done my damage. I should be pretty far ahead in this game. I don't even mind this move out here. This move out has the potential to deal a bit of damage. It's going to have stim once it heads over across to the other map, and given the fact that he has killed so many of PattyMac's stalkers, this army doesn't really need medevacs or further upgrades to be successful.
Now, the one thing you say it doesn't need stalkers, and that is kind of true, or it doesn't need medevacs, but charge is done, and charge lots are kind of the end-all be-all answer to an army like this. Again, there is a Raven here, so Dorito Cannon is a thing. You will be able to do that anti-armor setup here. And now we got a big flank coming on in, but nice disable on the Warp Prism. So no more Warpins here. The Zealots get on top of this tank, but the tank is still staying alive. The Stalker stim on in. The tank finally dies, but not before the entire army of PattyMac does the same. And yeah, MaSa's gonna eventually lose these Marines, but the medevac's here. It's a hot pickup. Saving Private Medevac, or Saving Private Marine. They're not even gonna need to be picked up. That is gonna be valid. That's everything that MaSa could want out of that fight.
Yeah, very good trade here from MaSa. And MaSa is completely fine trading this out here. He has his third base behind this. He is ahead in economy. Does lose the medevac in the middle of the map, which stings a little bit. But yeah, he could have he took that fight as good as he could have without anticipating that flank. That flank kind of made it bearable for PattyMac, but now he has to deal with that Raven. And he wants to make something happen on the other side of the map, but with these Widow Mines burrowing, remember these Widow Mines are also cloaked after they have fired because there is an armory. PattyMac pretty much has to watch this third base go up and can't do anything about it now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. PattyMac, he's still down on workers. It is 9 minutes in this game. I mean, he's lost a lot over the course of this game, but still, at this point, it is just so dang difficult for PattyMac to really field any sort of army. When you're the Protest at this point in the game, you kind of expect to be down on army supply just a little bit, but you expect to have a bigger economy. Because Chrono's the thing, you're going to take your third base faster. So the fact now that PattyMac, he's down 9 workers, his economy is worse, he's less upgrades. In fact, he's only just now getting his forge, there's no high-tech units. He is going to have to play he's going to have to do a really good job of just stalling out MaSa in this game, you know, getting Zealot run-bys into everything, just preventing MaSa from ever moving on out. But there we go. We have the recall come on into the third base. Widowmine's coming on into the natural as well. PattyMac, okay, he's gonna be paying attention to this one too, so not too much there. Drop the main base though. Yeah, okay, PattyMac really on top of it this time. So only 3 workers will go down, which I think that was for 4 Widowmines. So fantastic job there from PattyMac. Doesn't take too much damage anymore, but at this point, every little bit of damage matters. The Widowmines, MaSa can afford them. He can afford to lose them because he's up 14 workers.
Yeah, this time around, really good reactions from PattyMac, but in the grand scheme of things, the only thing that those good reactions gave him is staying in this game for just a little bit longer. Yeah, these Terran forces, you know, staying at the edge of PattyMac's base, taking out a cyber core, a gateway, and yeah, PattyMac kind of has to react to it, and he just has very few units. The Raven even gets away after placing down an auto turret, and MaSa's just taken all the good trades here. That Warp Prism warping in the middle of the map might be able to chase away this army for the time being, but if you just look at the supply behind this, MaSa is going to have more and more 2-2 upgrades not too far away. PattyMac does have Storm on the way, so just some potential further stalling, but what is his game plan after stalling? It turns out he doesn't have one. He taps out. MaSa takes the series.